Starting with Android 6, there is a new feature called Adoptable SD card storage. The concept is to set up the micro SD card to become part of the internal storage instead of an external portable storage. Why would one do this? About the only good reason is if the device has less than 8 gigabytes of internal storage, flash memory. Then, the adopted storage can increase that to a more serviceable level. But there are costs associated with adoptable storage. The first is, no matter how fast the micro SD card is, it will not be as fast as the internal flash. So there will be a performance hit. In fact, during the adoption process, Android will benchmark the resulting performance with the current micro SD card and warn you if it is found to be too much slower than the internal flash. So, only micro SD cards of speed class 10 or preferably UHS-1 type or above should be used. The other rather obvious cost is that the adopted micro SD card is encrypted with a device-specific key. It cannot be used in any other device. So, you no longer have a portable SD card. So, in light of those costs, if you're still interested in adopting your micro SD card, let's go through the procedure. Step 0 of the procedure is to back up the contents currently on your micro SD card, because it will be lost during the adoption process. Okay, step 1 actually depends upon whether or not you are adopting an already installed micro SD card, or you are installing one for the first time and then plan to adopt it. If it's the latter, you will automatically be presented with a New SD card detected notification and a setup button, which will bring up the Format Options screen. If you are repurposing your existing micro SD card, which we are going to do in this demo, you get to the Format Options screen by going to kind of a long process here. Go to Settings, and on Settings you scroll down to Storage, tap that. Then you go to the SD card under Portable Storage and tap that. Then you go to the 3 dots on the right and tap that. Then you tap Settings. Okay, once here you have 3 options. You can eject the micro SD card. You can format it normally so that it will function as portable storage. Or you can format it as internal so that from that point forward it is encrypted and behaves exactly like the internal storage. Well, that's why we're here, so let's do that. Now you get a little reminder. Actually get 3 reminders. You get reminded that the SD card is indeed going to be formatted to make certain that it is secure. What that message should have said was it's going to be formatted and encrypted with a device-specific key. Then you get reminded that after formatting, this SD card will only work in this particular device. And finally, you get reminded that you should have already backed up the data on this SD card if you had any on it, because it will be gone at the end of this process. If you're satisfied with all that, and you don't need to go back up your data, then let's proceed by tapping the Erase and Format. Get a little progress bar and it's telling you don't remove the SD card. So I'm going to splice time and come back when this thing gets a little bit closer to being done. You have an option right now to migrate the apps that can be migrated over to the new part of the internal storage. Not all apps can be. And the ones that can't will not provide you an opportunity to that, or won't be migrated automatically here. So you have 2 options. You can either move them now, or you can move them later. And the them now is apps, basically anything that any of the app data, photos, files, just anything you want to move. Before leaving this discussion right here, though, I do want to point out that once you do this, once you migrate the apps over, from that moment forward and forevermore, the micro SD card will be considered the primary storage. So if that puppy's not fast enough, you certainly don't want to be doing this. Okay, so let's say move over later, and that way we can show you how you would do it manually. So we can simply say we're done at this point. Now let's see what we're being presented with here on the storage screen. You see the original internal storage, and then you'll notice that portable storage category is gone. This is all now just considered to be device storage, but they do still segregate it in terms of whether you know what's on the micro SD card, even though it is actually part of internal storage now. So let's go see what's on our new adopted storage. We got 0 bytes and 0 bytes. We got a container for apps, but we didn't migrate any apps over. And we've got a container for cache data, but we didn't have any cache data brought over. So how do you actually migrate data then off of the internal storage over to the adoptable storage? Well, from this screen, as a matter of fact. And now you'll notice the new option in the menu. You choose Migrate Data. You'll see the screen telling you what's going to be moved during this migration. Again, I don't have much on here, but let's just go ahead and say Move. And there it is. Our card is now ready. Okay, that concludes our demo on adoptable storage.